Good morning, boys and girls. So today we're going to compare and order, and now we are using our page 2A. So here we are now going to our millions place. So we are still going to compare these two numbers, and we are still going to draw our place value chart. That's something you need to do and make sure you draw as you go through this. So I'm going to have this here. I'm going to start with drawing my place value chart. I know that I am going to my millions, so I'm going to start off with my millions. I'm going to put an M for millions, comma, my hundred thousands, my 10,000s, my 1,000s, my hundreds, my tens, and my ones. That is now my guide. And we are comparing two numbers. So now I'm going to write those two numbers one on top of the other so it can help me visualize. So my first number is 8,683,236. That is my first number. Now my next one. 8,681,199. And just like before, I'm going to compare first and my highest place value. My highest place value is my millions place. So I'm going to draw a line here. I'm going to compare 8 and 8. They are equal. This does not help me on deciding in whether which one is greater and which one is less. So these are equal. I have to move on to my next highest place value, which is my 100,000s. They are also equal. 6 and 6 are equal. This doesn't help me. So I have to check mark it, and I have to move on to my next highest place value, which is my 10,000s place. Here I have an 8 and I have an 8. Are those equal numbers? Yes. Does that help me decide which number is greater and which one's less? No. So these are the same, and I go to my next highest place value. And this one is my thousands place. So here, I'm going to compare. I have a 3 and I have a 1. Are these equal? No, they are not equal. There is one number that is greater than the other. And which number is that? Exactly, my 3. My 3 is a higher number, so I'm going to circle it in a check mark and stop there. So this tells me already that this is my largest number. So now I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it. And I'm going to put 8,683,236. And I'm going to put a blank 8,681,199. Those are my two numbers that I'm comparing. Which one did I say was greater? Well, let's look. 8,683,000. This is my number that is greater. So this is greater. And this one's less. So since we're writing it this way, this is greater than So what is my answer? My answer is A, correct. So my answer will be A. So this is for letter A in my, this is for letter A. And this is for page compare and order. So now, let's go ahead and move on to letter C. We're now going to move on to letter C. So we are here now. And let's look. I have my thousands, and my millions. So I know this goes up to my millions place. So I'm going to start out again by writing my place value chart. So again, my millions, my hundred thousands, my 10,000s, my 1,000s, my hundred, tens, and ones. That is my place value chart. And I'm going to go ahead and underline. And I'm going to compare these two numbers here. So let me first go ahead and start with the first number that I see, and that is 5,354,187. Now let's write the next one. 4,345,187. So that is those are my two numbers that I'm going to be comparing. So again, let's compare. And let's compare using our highest place value. And what is our highest place value? Correct, the millions is our highest place value. So let's start there. I'm going to draw a line here. I have a 5 and I have a 4. Are these equal numbers? No. One is greater than the other. Which one is greater? The 5. So right there, I'm just stopping right there. That's all I need to do. I've already distinguished which one is greater, and it is this number. So I'm going to rewrite what I have in letter C, and that is 5,354,187. I have a circle, and then I have 4,345,187. Before I pick if it's A or B, I want to remind you of our two symbols. So we have our symbol here. And what do these mean? This one is greater than. And this one means less than. So let's use our words. Is this number greater than or less than this number? Correct, this number is greater because we've distinguished that the 5 is greater than our 4 in our millions place. So which symbol will I use? Correct, we'll use that symbol. And also I want you to remember, our two dots are facing the direction of the higher value, and one dot the direction of the lower value. And that is my symbol. And let's not forget that the alligator wants to eat the highest amount. It wants to eat more. So then I know this number is greater because this one's facing and trying to eat the greater number. So now here, let's move on to letter E. So it says, which number is greater than 3,426,609? So I already have a number that we're comparing with, and I have two answers, which is A and B. So I want a number that is greater than. So I'm going to write here, greater than. And I'm going to put emphasis on that. It needs to be greater than. So let me start off again by drawing my place value chart. And I know that it's in my millions place, so I'm going to start off with my millions, my hundred thousands, my 10,000s, my 1,000s, my hundreds, tens, and ones. That is my place value. That is to help me, guide me into figuring out which number is greater. So the number, I'm going to first put this number here that is given to me. I'm going to look at this one. So I'm going to first write this down. 3,426,609. 26,609. This is the number that we're looking for. This is the number that we're comparing with everything else. So now I'm going to draw the other two. Write the other two. I'm going to write letter A, and then I'm going to write letter B. So let me go ahead and write letter A. Letter A says 3,419,819. Then I'm going to write 3,442,381. So now this is my number, and I'm going to compare one by one. So first, let's check this one, because we're looking for a number that is greater than this number. So I have a 3 in my millions, a 3 in my millions. This is equal to that, so I have to go on to my next. This is 4. This is 4. Equal. Can't help me decide. I go to my next highest place value. This is 2. This is 1. Which one's greater? This one's greater. And I want something that's greater than my 3,426,609. So I know that 3,419 is less than that. So I know this is not my answer. So now I'm going to compare my next one. Now I'm going to compare my top number with my bottom number. So 3, 3, those are equal. 4, 4, those are equal. Doesn't help me distinguish. Now I'm going to do let me first draw a line here. So now I'm going to compare my 2 and my 4. Which one is greater in my thousands place? 2 or 4? Exactly, my 4. This is greater. So out of my two answer choices, I know that 3,442,381 is greater than 3,426,609. So this one would be letter B. B would be my answer. Now we are on F, so I'm going to go ahead and write F here. It says it wants us to order our numbers from greatest to least. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. I need to emphasize that we are going to order from greatest to least. Emphasize on that. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to first look at my 4 numbers, and I want to see what the highest place value is for each one. The highest this goes is to my millions, my millions, my millions, and my millions. So I know that my place value chart has to start off in my millions. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write M for millions, my comma, my 100,000s, my 10,000s, my 1,000s, comma, my hundreds, tens, and ones. So this is my place value chart. Make sure you draw your place value chart every single time. And now I'm going to go ahead and put in the numbers that I need to put. So let's see. Let's go ahead and use this color. I'm going to put the first number that I see, and that is 6,650,577. My next number is 6,605,461. My next one is 6,650,370. Now, my last one is 6,606,461. 67. These are the numbers that I am comparing, and I lined it up to help myself. So now I'm going to look at each place value. So don't forget, we are going to go to our highest place value, and our highest place values are millions. So I'm going to start off with my millions. Value. So I'm going to start off by making sure I draw a line here because I am looking at my millions place. Now I need to look. Is there any number in here that tells me that it's greater than or less than? Let me see. It's 6. They're all 6s. They're all the same. They're equal. Does this tell me which one is greater and which one's less? No. So I need to go on to my next highest place value, which is my 100,000s. So I'm going to look. There's also 6s. They're all equal. So this doesn't help me either. So I have to go to my 10,000s place. Now that I'm here in my 10,000s place, I know that there's a 5, 0, 5, 0. So out of these, I know that my 5 is greater. So I'm going to box in my 5 here. I'm going to look at these two numbers to see which one is greater. So now I'm going to move on to my next one. I'm going to my thousands place because these two are greater. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to put my line right there. And I'm only looking at these two. These are equal, so it doesn't help me, and I go on to my next place value, which is my thousands. Here is a 0 and a 0. These are also equal and does not help me out whatsoever, so I have to go to my next highest. Now it is my hundreds. I have a 3 and I have a 5. Which one is greater, 3 or 5? Correct, my 5 is greater. So I'm going to circle it, check mark it, and I'm done with that. So I know that this is my greatest number. I know that that is my greatest number. So now I know that this is now my second greatest. Since this was a 5 and this beat 0, 0, I know that this is my second greatest. So now I'm going to compare my zeros. I'm going to put a box in purple to compare these. So now I'm going to look here. I have these are equal, so this doesn't help me. I go to my next place value, which is my thousands place. There is a 5, there is a 6. Which one is greater, 5 or 6? Correct. My 6 is greater. So I circle it, check mark that, and I know that that is my third place. Since that is my third place, my last one standing is my fourth place. So now I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to write my numbers from greatest to least. So let's go ahead and write that. So my number 1 is right here. So I'm going to write 6,650,577. Now going on to my second place. 6,650,370. Now I finished with those two. I'm going to go to my third place, which is 6,606,467. Now for my last place, which is fourth, I have 6,605,461. So this is my first place, my second place, my third place, and my fourth. This is from greatest to least. My letter G. And now I'm going to order from least to greatest. We're not going from greatest to least, we're doing least to greatest. So that's right here, least to greatest. least to greatest. So first, I'm going to look at my numbers, and I'm going to see which one has the higher place value. So let's see, this one has a highest place value of 3 million, 3 million, 4 million, 3 million, but they are all in my millions place. So now, let's go ahead and write that down. I'm going to start off with my place value chart, like I always do, and I know that I start off with my millions, and then I start off with my hundred thousands, onto my 10,000s, then onto my 1,000s, my hundreds, my tens, and my ones. And like I did with letter F, sorry, I'm going to write down my numbers the way I see them. So here I have 3,283,463. My next one says it's 4,338,196. Now for my next one, I have 3,238,196. Now for my last one, I have 3,238,106. So now I want to go from least to greatest. So before, I would always want to find my greatest. So let's see if we can find our least. So let's go ahead and compare. Let's look here. Let's look at my millions place. For my millions place, I have a 3, 4, 3, and 3. So out of all of these, I have 3 that are equal. So I'm going to put a check mark on them. And I have one that is in the millions place. So I have a 4 there. So for my 4, I am going to circle and put a check. Because I stopped there, because I know that's already my greatest amount. But let's see, would this be my number 1, my number 2, my number 3, or number 4? So I'm going from least to greatest. So that means the greatest has to be my last one. So if this is my greatest, then I know that this is my number 4. This is my last place. Now, these are all equal, so I have to move on to my next highest place value, and that is my hundreds. Since I already finished there, I am no longer looking at any of these right here. I am already done with it. So I'm looking at these. I have 2, 2, and 2. These are all equal. Does it help me decide which one is greater and which one is less? No. So I have to move on to my next greatest place value. So here, I have an 8, I have a 3, and I have a 3. So let's see. Let's compare. I have 2 that are equal. These are the same. But I also have an 8. Is 8 greater than 3? Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and circle it and put a check mark. This is also greater. I already have my 4th place. So now this will be my 3rd. So I'm still stuck, and now I am not going to look at the rest of my numbers. I have already decided on the ones I need to do. So now these are equal, and I need to go to my next highest place value. So with these, I have only 8 and 8. Are these equal? Yes, they're equal. So this doesn't help me, so I have to go to my next highest place value, and that is my hundredths. I have a 1 and a 1. Are they equal? Yes. So I don't have to I have to go to my next highest place value. If I have to go all the way to my ones, I'll do it, because I need to find out which one is higher, which one is greater, and which one is less. So now let's see. I'm already finished with my 3, I'm finished with the 6. Skip that one. I am here. I already have my 6 and my 9 out, and I have a 9 and a 0. Out of these two, which is my least, which is my greatest, sorry. That's right, 9. So I know that this is my 9, this is my greater one, and I stop right there. I stop there. Put a little check. And I know that this is greater than this one, so this would be my second place. Now here, I'm already finished here. I already know that I stop there. So that means this is my first place, meaning that this is my least. This is my greatest. So now I'm going to rewrite my numbers to help me. So I'm going to rewrite them. So I'm going to start off with number 1, because I'm going from least to greatest. So my number 1 is 3,238,106. Now my second one is 3,238,196. My third is 3,283,463. Now my fourth, which should be my greatest, is 4,338,196. And that is G, and that is from least to greatest. On our own. So I'm now going to move on to letter I. So I'm going to put I here. And let's go ahead and read. So it said for over 3 years, a distributor sold 2,852,573, 2,855,641, and 2,852,537 bags of chips. List this numbers from least to greatest. So this is the same process that we're going to do. We need to emphasize that we are going from least to greatest. So again, I'm going to write it on my paper. Least to greatest. From least to greatest. And now I'm going to draw my place value chart, and I noticed that when I was saying my numbers, they all were in my millions place. So again, I will start from my millions. So I have million, my 100,000, my 10,000, my 1,000, my 100, my tens, and ones. I have that written on my paper. I will now go ahead and write the numbers that I see. So my first number that I see is 2,852,573. Now my next number is 2,855,641, 2,852,537. These are the numbers that I am going to compare. So now, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to look at my highest place value. My highest place value is my millions place. So I'm going to draw a line here, and I'm going to look at my millions place. Are they all equal? Yes. So these are all equal. Does this help me distinguish which one is the greatest and which one is the least? No. So I have to go to my next highest place value, which is my 100,000, sorry. So I have 8, 8, and 8. Are these equal? Yes. Does this help me distinguish? No. So I now have to go to my next one, which is my 10,000s place. So now here in my 10,000s place, it is 5, 5, 5. Are these equal? Yes. This also doesn't help distinguish whether it's greater or least, so I'm going to go here to my next one. Now here, I have a 2, 5, and 2. Is there any number here that is greater than the rest? Yes, and that is my 5. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my 5. I'm going to circle it and put a check mark because I stop there. Since that is my greatest, it is considered my last. So I'm going to put a 3 here because that is my last one. I'm going to put an X on all of my numbers because I don't have to look at this anymore. I don't have to look for those numbers. Now, I'm going to look for my top number and my bottom number. I'm going to compare these two now. I'm moving on. So now I will go to my hundreds place. So I'm going to go here. In my hundreds place, I have a 5 and a 5. Are these equal? Yes, so this does not help distinguish which one is greater and which one is less. So now I'm going to go to my tens place. I have a 7 and I have a 3. Which one of these two are greater? We're not looking at the 4 anymore, remember that. I have a neck on it, we're not looking there anymore. My 7 is greater, so I'm going to circle my 7, put a check mark there. So I know that this is my second greatest, so I'm going to write a 2 here. Now which one is my least? Right here, and we're going from least to greatest. So now I'm just going to rewrite my numbers. So I know that my first one is 2,852,537. My second would be 2,852,573. My third would be 2,855,641. And I'm going to go ahead and underline where